Imagine walking into class, and no one looks at you. No one talks to you. Your name is erased from group chats. Your desk is accidentally kicked. Your stuff goes missing. Every whisper makes you wonder if it's about you. No punches, no visible bruises, but you go home feeling like you died a little again. In Japan, there's a word for this kind of bullying: Ijime. Japan's 2013 Anti-Bullying Act defines bullying as physical or psychological acts by one or more children toward another child they're connected to, usually at the same school, that cause physical pain or psychological suffering, including online harassment. Researchers describe Ijime as a group-based attack from the inside. It usually happens within a class or peer group where everyone is equal on paper. A dominant student or clique uses teasing, exclusion, threats, or violence to break one target. Bystanders don't help, not because they approve, but because they're afraid they'll be next. In many cases, the most devastating weapon isn't a fist, it's being erased. Education Ministry research shows that the most common forms of bullying in Japan are teasing, insults and hurtful comments repeated over and over, being ignored or shut out by classmates, group harassment in person or via social media. Only after that come play fights that are actually assaults. So how bad is it? Ministry of Education surveys show that recognized school bullying cases have exploded over the past decade. In the 2022 school year, around 681,948 bullying cases were recorded in elementary, junior high, and high schools across Japan, more than 680,000 in a single year, the highest figure on record at that time. By the 2024 school year, that number rose again to about 769,022 cases, setting yet another record. At the same time, the number of children refusing to attend school long-term has reached hundreds of thousands, when over 350,000 or elementary and junior high students in fiscal 2024 alone, with bullying and anxiety among the major triggers. Why does Ijime hit so deep in Japan? Scholars point to three big themes. 1. Group harmony, shudan seikatsu. Schools emphasize moving as a group, thinking as a group, behaving as a group. Standing out, too quiet, too loud, too foreign, too gifted, too different, can attract punishment from peers. 2. Pressure to conform and to endure. Values like gamen, endurance, and not causing trouble can make victims stay silent and make teachers or parents underestimate what's happening. 3. Invisible violence. Because Ijime is often psychological and collective, it's easy for adults to dismiss it as kids' fights or just teasing, even while the victim is collapsing inside. Japan isn't ignoring this. In 2013, the Act for the Promotion of Measures to Prevent Bullying made schools and local governments legally responsible for prevention, early detection, and strong response in serious cases, especially when there's risk of severe harm or suicide. Since then, MEXT has expanded its definition of bullying and pushed schools to recognize more cases, which partly explains the huge numbers. A new Children and Families Agency is coordinating with local governments to create support systems outside school, so children who feel unsafe at school have other places to seek help. But numbers this high are not just a data problem, they're a mirror showing classrooms where one student can become the designated sacrifice, not because of what they did, but because the group needs a target to unite against. Here's the thing. You don't need to live in Japan to recognize Ijime-style bullying. Any place where group chat becomes a weapon, silence becomes approval, and "we were just joking" becomes a shield, can grow its own version of Ijime. If you are going through bullying right now, in school, online, or even at work, this video can't fix it. But it can say this: what is happening to you is not your fault. You are not weak for feeling shattered, and you deserve real protection. From adults, from systems, and from people who actually care. Please, talk to someone you trust, and if you're thinking about hurting yourself, reach out to a local crisis line or mental health service in your country. Your story doesn't end in that classroom. Tell me in the comments, does your school or your city have its own version of Ijime? I'm your name, and this is Black Butterfly Key, where we read the small print in society's cruelest games. Butterfly Key.